I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will you join me in prayer, please? Supreme Architect of the universe, we invoke thy blessing at this time. May this meeting thus be done in peace and close in harmony. Amen. Good afternoon and evening to everyone, and welcome to our Thursday, December the 5th, 2013 public business meeting of the Allegany County Commissioners. Commissioners, is there any additions or deletions to our agenda?
No, sir.
Okay, I'd like to entertain a motion of the minutes of November 21st, 2013 of our public business meeting.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved by Commissioner Brody, seconded by Commissioner Valentine. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Under the report of the President, I'd like to read some good news. This is a press release that's being released today from Frostburg, Maryland. It is from the Hamilton Relay Expanding Workforce in Frostburg Center. Hamilton Relay is a leading telecommunication relay and caption telephone service provider. Announced today that it will be expanding its workforce at its Frostburg, Maryland Center. Hamilton Relay is an extraordinary provider of high-quality, life-enhancing services that are enjoyed continuing success nationwide. The Frostburg Center continues to Hamilton's growth. This is certainly good economic news for Allegany County, where they are announcing 20 new jobs are coming. My fellow commissioners, Creed Brody Jr. and William Valentine, and I have confidence in the quality and commitment of Allegany County's workforce. Hamilton's second expansion here reflects a positive past performance of its employees in the Frostburg Center, and we truly appreciate and congratulate Hamilton Relay. As a side note, Hamilton Relay in 2010 had 70 employees, and now with this 20 plus expansion, there will be to 161. Also remind everyone of the good economic news that was shared with Hunter Douglas, as they will be looking to expand to 350 more good paying jobs. So congratulations to Hunter Douglas and Hamilton Relay, but more especially, congratulations to the citizens of Allegany County and somebody who's looking for a job. Gentlemen, action agenda today. Item number 1 is Resolution 13-20. Now this is the Enterprise Zone recertification, and Mr. Tim Carney, our Senior Project Manager, is here to communicate.
Good evening, Commissioners and ladies and gentlemen. The two companies that the Commissioner just mentioned, those are two companies that are in our Enterprise Zone program, one in the Gateway and one in Frostburg. What we're looking for tonight is recertification of certain companies that are in that program. And before we jump into the improvement resolution, I'd like to give just a couple facts about the program and a few of the companies. We have 3 zones in our county. The Gateway, which and this 220 South zone that we administer, and the Frostburg zone that they administer. Commissioners to take action on all of those because of the county tax portions that they will grant as benefits to the companies that qualify. There's 20 companies in our Gateway and 220 South, and there's 29 in the Frostburg zone. In the Gateway zone, they have combined employment of 2,127 people, and those 20 companies have invested over $7 million in capital investments in this past year. That bodes very well for the future of those companies. Companies that fail to reinvest, they tend to just slowly go down, and that's a pretty good number for 1 year's investment. Lastly, these companies don't automatically qualify for these benefits. They must hire people maintain those employment roles as well as make an investment in order to qualify for the increased assessment that we give them a break on, basically. And with that said, I request that you take up that resolution.
Okay, gentlemen, I'd like to entertain a motion to authorize the county commissioners to approve Resolution 13-20, which certifies that certain companies meet local standards for the Gateway and Route 220 South Enterprise Zones and the Frostburg Enterprise Zone to qualify for real estate property tax credits authorized by Tax Article 9-103. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
It has been motioned by Commissioner Valentine, seconded by Commissioner Brody. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
Here's Mr. Dorsey. Commissioners, item number 2 is the Rural Legacy Easement Purchase.
As you know, Commissioners, in 2010, the state approved the Mountain Ridge Rural Legacy Area. It's mostly made up of the mountaintops surrounding LaVale, Mount Savage, and continues south along the crest of Dan's Mountain, mostly state land down there. But within that area, qualified properties, the owners can apply for selling a conservation easement to the Rural Legacy program out of the Department of Natural Resources. And one such property was submitted in the calendar year 2012 and has come to fruition. I must add the sale or purchase of this easement has been approved by the State Board of Public Works already.
Okay, all right. Any questions, Commissioners? I'd like to entertain, actually, I'll make the motion that we authorize the Board of County Commissioners to approve the State of Maryland Rural Legacy Program's purchase of easement and pertaining to this 93.96 acre property in Election District 29. Is there a second?
Second.
It has been moved by Commissioner McKay, seconded by Commissioner Valentine. We'll have a roll call vote. Commissioner Valentine?
Aye.
Commissioner Brody?
Nay.
Commissioner McKay? Aye. Motion carries. Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Everly, what do we have on our consent agenda this evening, please, sir?
Commissioners, on our brief consent agenda tonight, we have our periodic reappointment to the county's Solid Waste Management Board, and a number of positions there as balloons. But nonetheless, I need to point out that we are very blessed to have a very strong, dedicated group of folks who donate their time and talents in service to this important exercise. Last but not least, this is an item that we see on our agenda each and every year about this time, and it deals with salvage yard license reissuances, and we have 8 of those to approve tonight.
Okay. Commissioners, the reappointments, I did not do interviews for those people because they were volunteers that have shown an interest and have done a great job. We've already approved them in the past. But the new solid waste board member, Mr. Stephen Young, we did interview him, and that's a favorable recommendation. Gentlemen, I'd like to entertain a motion that we accept our consent agenda. Is there a said motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
It has been moved by Commissioner Brody, seconded by Commissioner Valentine. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Anything on your desk, Mr. Everly?
Just briefly, Commissioners, as you will note here shortly, we have one more public meeting scheduled for the month of December. Scheduled, as you will see, for Thursday, December the 19th. The Commissioners will be at MACO next week in Cambridge. So anticipate a rather lengthy agenda, one and all, for December the 19th.
Okay. Mr. Rudd?
I have nothing.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Valentine?
Just briefly, tying back to what Mike talked about to begin the meeting with the economic development that's happening. We had our final meeting at the work session with representatives from ACM and Frostburg University about the student funding program that we're starting. And I think it's truly going to be a huge economic bonus to the area. Everybody's yelled for years that we need more high-paying jobs in Allegany County. That's true, we do need that. But at this point, we only have 16% of the people in this county that's got BA degrees, and most high-paying jobs nowadays take college education, college degrees. And if we can help our young people attain those degrees, I think the county will see a huge payback in it. So once again, that should be finalized at the lengthy meeting Dave was talking about on the 19th. So it's going to be a very big positive for the entire county.
Before I call on Commissioner Brody, Don, good to see you from Leadership Allegany.
Thank you.
Appreciate you attended. And there was a young lady from, there she is. What school are you from? Calvary Christian Academy. There's a good chance you may know one of my kids.
Or 8 of his kids.
Well, welcome. Commissioner Brody.
I'm going to be brief because I know we have another engagement tonight. First of all, I'd like to thank the Western Maryland delegation for our meeting last night. That was very good. I just hope we get some positive results from that. And the furthers the news on economic development, as everyone knows, I work for LaVale Sanitary Commission, and there was some ground moving next to us today out on Route 36. So there's a new business coming into town, and they're putting up a brand new building. So congratulations to them.
Yeah, I understand that if the weather cooperates, within 2 weeks, they'll be pouring a concrete pad.
Oh, that's fantastic. So
Good news.
yes, sir.
Alrighty. Remind everybody about our next public business meeting, which is going to be Thursday, December the 19th at 5 o'clock in room 100. And like to remind everybody about our encore for a hero ceremony, which is Wednesday, December the 18th, 2013, 4 o'clock, right here in room 100. Gentlemen, looks like we have one person to sign up for constituents, Mr. Kevin Schaefer. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Commissioner McKay. My name is Kevin Schaefer. I live at 829 National Highway. Here's a private citizen. I'd like to address, continuing on with what I had said down in Barton. I brought the Times News Tuesday, December 3rd copy. The headline says, "County will not intervene after cuts to food stamp program." And then the second paragraph says, "Commissioner denies citizens' request for food bank credit line." And just for the record, that was Commissioner McKay. And I don't mean to insinuate that you're a dictator, sir, but we are not dictators. And the form of government that we have here is a triumvirate, a rolling body of 3. And so one of the other things you said was, Commissioner McKay said in the newspaper, the county does not have the authority to provide a private entity such as the food bank with a line of credit. And that's, I guess, one of your reasons for saying that you would deny them this credit line. So just so that we get it into the public knowledge, Commissioners Brody and Commissioners Valentine, if you would kind of, provide to me your logic. If it's the same with Commissioner McKay's, we can certainly cut this meeting down and we'll move right along. So Commissioner Brody, would you like to address that issue?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't have made that motion either because there was 3 of us sitting there. None of the 3 of us made the motion. And if I would have been no, and if it would have been put to a motion, my vote would have been no. And the reason being is twice a year when the food pantry sets up a food line in Frostburg, when I go in, they hand me a list. I gladly go in. It costs me usually between $48 and $56. I give them everything on their list, which is that should be a person's right to do that. If they want to, that's fine. If they don't, that is also fine. That's my way of contributing, and I think that ought to be left up to the individual, nor should that be forced on the county government in any way. So there's my answer.
Commissioner Valentine?
Number one, the food pantry has never come to the commissioners and requested any assistance. Number two, if this is a big issue for you, I would like for you to get us some more information on this so we have more information to make a decision on. You quoted that 20% of the county was on food stamps. I'd like to know how many families that equates to. And also, with a low population like we have, 20% doesn't necessarily equate to a large number of people. So if you would, give us the figures for Washington County, neighboring county, what percentage of their population is on food stamps, and how many people does that equate to is in comparison to Allegany County, so we can see where we actually stand on this. To take a percentage can be very misleading. So I would like for you to give some more information. Number one, how many families does this equate to? And you said that the federal government is the one that cut the food stamps allocation, wasn't the county government. How many dollars per family does that actually equate to? And your idea of $100,000, when I ran the math, that would come up to about $7 per person. Now, Mr. Brody said he contributes between $40 and $50 once or twice a year. I also do the same. So I think we're already contributing more than that $7 per person. But if you could give us more information, I'd like to hear the information so see how we actually compare with other counties.
Well, just to kind of go back to one of your comments, we do have 15,000 citizens. It is 20%. And the number was reported in the Times News. I don't have the specific number for a number of families, but obviously we can get that. And it is 20%. I was just wondering, are you still convinced, sir, that 47% or 45% of all Americans are on food stamps, as you said down in Barton?
Not on food stamps, they were on some form of assistance. I misspoke. Just as you evidently misspoke when you said you wouldn't be back unless we gave you a public apology at one time, which we have not done. So everybody's missing it. So that is a percentage of the population that is on some form of federal assistance.
Well, just to let you know, I didn't misspeak. I think Commissioner McKay was wrong in what he did to me. He suppressed my fundamental right of free speech. But I'm a big enough man to know that whenever we have 15,000 citizens in our county that could possibly be starving, that maybe I can just bear a little bit of humility and say, well, Kevin, maybe you can go and ask these people if they would do their job, because, as you gentlemen well know, one of your duties is to be trustees of the poor. It doesn't say, Commissioner Brody, be trustees of the poor as a private citizen. It doesn't say that, Commissioner Valentine. It says, you gentlemen, as county commissioners, are to be trustees of the poor. Now, you're shooting this down as if these people aren't poor, as if they got money to burn. These people are dirt poor. They're on food stamps. The median household income in this county is $40,000, gentlemen. That's $31,000 less than the state average. $31,000. That's incredible.
Correct, Mr. Schaefer.
Okay, let me ask.
Excuse me, please. Two things. First of all, I would ask you to actually reach out to our federal partners, both Congressman Delaney and then both Senators Cardin and Mikulski, and see with them, because this is actually a federal program, and see where they are. Do they feel that it's need for the county to be picking up something like this? Second of all, I think it's very important to be noted that as well-intended as your idea is off base. It is politically motivated. Your idea is to embarrass the commissioners.
And have I done that, sir?
No, sir, you haven't.
Well, then I haven't been successful.
Well, and I'm sure that you will be back. You have been consistent in the 4 years. I have extended to you the same respect level to every citizen who has come before this board.
Will you let me say what
And-
was on the back of Commissioner
Sir?
Cohen's back?
Sir?
On his jacket. Can I say that? It's fuck the draft, in case you don't know.
Thank you very much, everyone. Please note that the food bank has not been contacted by Mr. Schaefer. They are not interested
You're
in
filibustering my time.
They are not in
You are
liberty of anything
filibustering
with
my
that.
time, Commissioner.
Well, sir, you just used a word that you were told several months ago that you could not use in one of our public meetings. The delegation got you Attorney General's opinion
No,
on
so they
that.
did not.
So-
No, so they did not. They got
As
a
far as
letter
I'm
of
concerned, your
advice.
time's up.
Bill?
That's good.
Thank you very much for everyone attending our public meeting. We appreciate that people have a level of respect.
It's the same
Have a
fucking
good day.
shit over
Thank
and
you
over
very
again.
much.
It's the same fucking shit.
Ladies, thank you for leaving, Mr. Schaefer.
Do you want to take it on right here, sir? All right, there you go. Fair enough. You're a tough, you're a